and welcome to this new moon in Aries ritual and ceremony. And it's been a bit of a wild ride, this solar eclipse and equinox energy and Chiron energy. It's all happening. And it's all happening for us rather than to us, even though it may seem like the opposite. But with this energy and this eclipse portal, it actually has been felt for weeks and maybe even a few months. For those who are truly ready to step into the next level or into the next ascension of their soul purpose or soul evolution or soul growth, you will have been feeling this for quite some time. And we only really get out of our comfort zone when we get uncomfortable or when we're pushed. So that gentle nudge or that push so that we can take the leap of faith. Now, new moons are all about new beginnings, setting our intentions, moving from creating in the darkness so that when we come to the 2 weeks of the full moon, that we can illuminate our projects or that we can bring to fruition what we've been working on in the background. Now, this is a little bit different because we're in eclipse season. So it is not really recommended to charge your crystals or do any manifestation work during this time because the eclipse has a different process for you, or it can see from a higher perspective something that you aren't even aware of. So the best advice during eclipse season is to do nothing, is to just be fully present. Because there's a lot coming up for people. Like with this Chiron energy, it's known as the wounded healer. So a lot of spiritual and emotional wounds are coming to the surface. So they need time, they need processing, they need to be sat with and nurtured and loved. It's not a time to be running to the next thing or trying to manifest anything. Sometimes we just have to stop and to be and to acknowledge what's arising and to become super aware rather than trying to rush forward. And Mercury retrograde won't allow you to do that anyway. So it's a perfect time to sit with yourself, to sit whatever is arising. Because we often just want to jump onto the next thing because life is getting a little bit uncomfortable or I don't feel so good in my skin. So true soul growth and evolution is to be able to create space for your emotions, to be able to sit in the discomfort rather than trying to run away because they will eventually catch up with you. So, I've shared with so many of you about my process with grief lately. And it's been the most challenging emotional roller coaster that I've ever been on because I've never allowed myself to feel that deeply. And oh my God, it has been so transformative, but really, really, really uncomfortable. But I'm so glad now that I've done it and that I've sat with it. And it's like, it's okay to be uncomfortable. It's okay to feel. And I feel so much more space in my life now. So, it is worth sitting with it and getting super uncomfortable because Aries is a fire sign. And it is very, very headstrong. It is very it just puts its head on and just rams forward. Like the ram is the symbol of Aries. So, we can tend to charge forward. Which is great. It's good to be determined and headstrong, but that can go against you if you refuse to look at your wounds or look at your shadows. It's like, no, I don't have time for that. I need to keep moving, charging forward. But remember, we're human beings. So it is really, really important to carve out just as much time to be as well as doing. And sometimes society doesn't allow us to do that. It's like achieve the next thing and move on and keep moving forward. But it's like, please step back now and take in the bigger picture. Take in all of the aspects and elements of you rather than just trying to nurture the whole aspects or the parts of you that feel really, really good. Remember to tend to the shadow. And it's not easy. Let me tell you, if it was, everybody would be doing it, but it is so worth it. So we're going to go through journaling prompts now in a moment to help you to dive a little bit deeper into that. Um, with the Aries new moon as well, it is, like I said, in the midst of Mercury retrograde. We opened up the eclipse portal 2 weeks ago, and we're also in this, or sorry, we opened up the equinox portal a few weeks ago. So there's all of this new influx of energy. We have the solar eclipse. So I don't know about you, but I did not sleep a wink last night, even though I was so tired, ready for bed. There was this influx of energy that was just pouring in. So, like the candle in the background, all of this solar energy, all of this masculine energy, all of this fiery energy coming through. So, look, it's a temporary thing. Like everything, this too shall pass. So, how can you use and harness this energy for the greater good, for transformation? Because that's what fire does. It burns away the old to create space for the new. But if we are using that energy to run away, or if we're using our physical energy to power forward, that's how we get burnt out. That's how we get burned by the fire. So, how can we alchemize our emotions? And, anyone that works closely with me will know, about sitting with your emotions, about allowing them to come up, fully feeling them, and then letting them go. And that's how you alchemize your emotions yourself, is by setting yourself free, by sitting with it, and acknowledging it. So awareness, and then we use our breath, and then we can change or alchemize whatever is presenting itself. Because I don't know about you, but things have been chaotic, and it's classic Mercury retrograde. When things really, really get thrown into the blender or the mixer, and it just gets all spread all over the place. So this is why we have to be super aware of our shadows, of our triggers, and what really gets underneath our skin, so that we can, step back or avoid or review or, rewind, and just kind of slow down during this time. It's not a time to put the foot on the accelerator. It is definitely a time to slow down and do things a little bit more mindfully, and taking extra deep breaths and taking days off, because um, that's how we create the inner calm for our nervous system. If it's chaos out there, we have no control over that, but we do have control over our breath, over our thoughts, over, our rituals and ceremonies, and how we go about our day to a certain degree. So taking those extra times to meditate and to facilitate that inner calm for yourself. And again, this is how you create resilience. We are right in the eye of the storm. And if you're in Ireland here, we had Storm Kathleen at the weekend. So it's like not a time for going out, running out and playing and, trying to erect something. It's like really lay low and create strong, solid foundations and connect with your body and really create that sense of safety and security. Aries is all related to the head, the neck, the shoulders, the face. So you might be holding a lot of tension here. You might be thinking a lot. So it's really a time to become more embodied and more aware of how you are feeling. And then you can create this holistic and all over well-being of your being by being aware of all of the different aspects. So before we go into the journaling prompts, we are going to take a moment, 60 seconds, to sit in silence and focus on our breath. Okay? So sitting in whatever way that's most comfortable, broadening the shoulders, perhaps take a little sway side to side. And just closing down your eyelids, and take a deep breath in through the nose and a long breath out through the mouth. And again, deep breath in and a long breath out. And one last time. And just let go of the breath now. We're going to sit in silence, just focusing on the breath for 1 minute. And just noticing the breath as it gently enters and leaves the body. Just focus solely on the breath. And then still with your eyelids closed, take a deep breath in. And a long cleansing breath out. Whenever you're ready, you can slowly and gently open up your eyelids. So anytime that you feel overwhelmed, stressed, busy, just step back. Step back, close your eyes, and just set a timer for 1 minute, and that is going to reset everything. So I spoke about Chiron, and Chiron is a star that is in conjunction with this new moon. And it is known as the wounded healer, as I said, but a wounded healer is one that has experience in life and that has experienced trauma and trials and tribulations during their soul evolution or their soul's time. And that helps them to evolve and grow. So when we alchemize our wounds or, heal our wounds and embrace our wounds, then we transform into the cosmic healer. So this is a great time for spiritual growth and spiritual connection. So during these journaling prompts, I want you to really allow your higher self to come through you and onto the paper. So that's our hand when we write and journal, an automatic write. It's how our soul gets to flow through us and manifest into form. So if you haven't got your journal, pause this and go grab it right now. I'm going to do this with you. So our first journaling prompt is, what do I desire most right now? So take a deep breath in and drop into your heart space. What do I desire right now? And don't judge what comes up. Perhaps you draw a symbol or a picture, or there's words or a sentence, but just put the pen to paper and let go for the next few moments and breaths. Next question. What do I promise myself right now? What do I promise myself right now? And again, dropping out of your head and into your heart. Breathe and just keep writing for the next few moments. And lastly, what small step or action can I take towards my desires? Okay, so let's put down the pen and paper for now. And you can always come back and flesh out those or, make sure that you definitely come back and review them, review the promises that you've made yourself and your desires, and they may change over time, but having a starting point helps to create the bigger vision. So we are going to move into our cards for some extra guidance. And who doesn't need some guidance during these intense times? Okay. So just put your attention, your focus, your questions into these cards. Take a deep breath in and a long breath out. And let's see what guidance wants to come through for you personally, or the collective. So if it resonates, amazing. If not, just take what you need and leave the rest. Okay. So first card. Lineage of the rose, moved by the goddess, here for this soul call and gather. So when we tune in, so you can see here the cosmic rose tuning in, coming into quiet contemplation and coming together. So, this journey can feel very lonely sometimes because it is only you that can walk the path. But when we truly tune in and ask for the guidance, ask for the connection, ask for the support, it will come. And this is why I was saying move from your head, because that's very masculine, into your heart space, which is more feminine, because this helps to open and unfold the mysteries that lay within us and the remembrance. And what is your soul calling you to do? Because your soul lives and resides in your heart space. And when we open up this frequency, and that connects with other like-minded souls to come together. So if you have been feeling lonely, perhaps you haven't been more in your head than your heart. And maybe it's time to open up your heart, being more authentic, being more vulnerable. And that's going to attract and gather together more like-minded souls. The next one is the sacred waters, nourishment, refreshment, health, rest, and self-care. So this is what I was saying about, take extra time for yourself, book in extra treatments, making sure that you're looking after your basic needs, food, warmth, and shelter. And water is all to do with the emotional healing. So definitely take this next 2 weeks while we're still in Mercury retrograde to do the work, to shed the tears that you didn't shed at the time. Because my God, I have shed decades of tears in these last couple of weeks. I just don't know where they've all been stored. And really, really look after yourself. Because this is the time to set yourself up to spring clean, to sustain yourself for the next couple of months. And use this time to really, really tend to your needs because nobody else is going to tend to them for you. And lastly, morning dew, clarity, a fresh start, a positive outlook. So if you don't have a morning routine, you are going to be living on autopilot. Every morning is an opportunity to start afresh. We don't have to wait for the new year to roll around. We don't have to wait for the new moon to roll around. We can start afresh every single day. And with the brighter mornings now, here in the Northern Hemisphere, it's a great opportunity to get up a little bit earlier and have your morning routine. Like I didn't just roll out of bed this morning and come on here. Like I had an hour to myself to prepare myself to get into the right energy, the right frame of mind, to be of service for the day and for this call. So, if I was coming here just after rolling out of bed, you would feel more scattered energy. I wouldn't be fully embodied. So, taking that time for yourself and just deciding that today is a new day, I get to start over. And see how that shifts your energy if you do it for 7 days and then it becomes more of a habit. So lots of inner work here. And this is what the dark moon, the new moon is all about. It's going within, introspection, and really just seeing and feeling what's knocking around there and bring it to light. Bring it into your heart, bring it into your awareness, and then it's up to you to take action on that. So, as always, I absolutely love to know in the comments how this is landing for you, where you're currently at, and what is alive for you. So, please do share. We are now going to get on our mats. So, make sure that you have everything that you need to be comfortable. We're going to start in a seated position.